first complete performance of the whole season. God, it feels so good to finally get a game like this. It's been far, far, far too long. All right, welcome everyone. This is Terry Lee. This is American Blues Podcast. Let's talk about Chelsea 6, Everton 0. What an incredible game at the bridge. Let's just get right into it. Best part of the game, obviously, Cole Palmer. Man, I am running out of things to say week after week for this player. Second game at home in a row where he gets at least a hat trick. He actually got 4 goals today. Perfect hat trick. What's interesting is one of those random football facts is this is the fastest perfect hat trick in the Premier League era. Who knew? But of course, Cole Palmer. How did the game start? I was really happy with the starting lineup. I was happy to see Chelesa, Silva in the back, Gusto still healthy, Cucurella. I think he's been really good this season. And then Mudryk up top, Palmer in the middle, Madueke outright, and then with Caicedo and Gallagher in the middle since Enzo is not feeling well and I think he's injured. But man, we absolutely dominated this Everton team to the point where one of their star players, Onana, who a lot of top teams are looking at, and he's probably going to leave this summer for one of the better teams, he got absolutely bossed off the field by Caicedo and Gallagher. So number one, major props, of course, Cole Palmer. Let's just go through his goals real quick. 12 minutes in, incredible nutmeg, and then back heel where he took out 3 players all on his own. Jackson, great link up back to him, and then what a smooth, silky, perfectly placed finish on the bottom right. Pickford had absolutely no chance. Great start to the game. And then 15 minutes in, I think it was either Cucurella or Mudryk on the left side. Can't remember which one. I think it was Mudryk, had a great pass. Somehow Palmer actually outran the ball and it ended up hitting behind him on his left hip and he missed a completely empty net. I was like, oh my God, here we go again. But, still props on him making that run. Our play down both wings today where it's just incredible. Exactly what I wanted to see. And then 17 minutes in, another Palmer goal, but this time great run by Mudryk down the wing. Crossed it to Jackson, who of course did the most Jackson thing, missed, hit Pickford. But then what I love about this play is Palmer. He followed the play. What did they always tell people? You got to follow the play. He ran after it, was in the perfect position to get the rebound, empty net, header, great second goal. And then 28 minutes in, Pickford, man, he always has an error in him and just like a very egregious, completely bonkers error, and he essentially passed it out to Palmer, who just looped it over him into an empty net. Perfect hat trick, left foot header, right foot, fantastic. And then 60 minutes in, it was a obvious penalty on Palmer. Initially, I wasn't sure if the ref was just waiting, and then he gave it for Madueke, which ended up not being a foul, but Palmer got stamped on his heel, 100% a penalty. And then something I just did not ever want to see. I do not ever want to see this again, which is Palmer is our penalty taker. Number one, he's on par for Golden Boot now because of that final goal. It's his right to take that penalty. He is leading this team. Madueke had the ball. It looked like Madueke was getting really annoyed that Palmer was taking the ball from him for the penalty. And then Jackson came out of nowhere to try to fight it out again. I don't ever want to see that. Props to Gallagher. Last time this happened, I gave Gallagher a lot of shit for being captain and not stepping up. This time, Gallagher actually got in between the way of everyone, pulled everyone aside, and just said, Palmer, take that goal. Of course, Palmer's never going to miss a penalty. 4th goal. He's at 20 goals now for the season in the league, same as Haaland. Man, if he told me at the beginning of the season that we would have a Golden Boot candidate, I would have said, get the hell out of here. And it would never have expected Palmer to be the one. For a midfielder to match the absolute freak that is Haaland for a Golden Boot, incredible. Is he going to win it? Probably not. I mean, City are just still better. Haaland's still a striker. But if Palmer continues this way, who knows? Who knows? If he gets to go close to golden goal, or Golden Boot. That'll be absolutely incredible for him this season. I am glad that after he scored, the whole team gathered around Jackson and was like, hey, man, get your head together. Go celebrate with him. And Jackson did it. This is just him being too young. Jackson has this side to him where he gets way too angry during games over tiny little things. Just calm it down, dude. Just calm it down. Because 44 minutes, Jackson actually scored a true striker's goal. Incredible. Again, the move was started by none other than Cole Palmer. Great loop pass, perfectly placed out to Cucurella on the left, who crossed to Jackson. Jackson had an incredible, near almost Drogba-esque type of take the ball out of the air, spin, one-time shot into the corner. And he made that look easy. If he could just do that more often, he doesn't even need to score fancy goals like that. Just score some of your easier chances and he'll be fantastic. That's 15 goals for him this season. 15 goals in the Premier League first season for a striker. That's incredible. I think that it's on par with Drogba's first season. Maybe that's even a little bit more. I'd have to go back to check. I think Drogba maybe got somewhere in that mid-teens range before he went absolutely ham the second season. But yeah, great for him. If he could just improve his finishing, Jackson's a good player. He's become really good. And throughout the game today, his link-up play was on par. His passing was good. Of course, it was just always when he's the one that's expected to score, he doesn't. But today, good on him. Nothing but positives. And then, of course, I absolutely loved the final goal where it was 90 minutes. Chilwell came on left wing. Don't like seeing that much. If Pochettino wants to come out and say, hey, we just really want to shut down shop, get more defenders on, sure. But he brought him on to use his attacking play. Whatever, it's fine. Chilwell he did have a really good run on the left side, beat his defender, and then really powerful left-footed shot. And then Alfie Gilchrist, first senior goal for the club. You could see just how much that meant to him. Ran over to the corner, celebrated with the crowd. Absolutely love it. I'm a big fan of Alfie. So all I want to see is just more positive from him. So good on him. Now let's go over the other positives. Honestly, like I said in the beginning, this was the first 90-minute complete performance, complete domination from defense to midfield to attack that I've wanted to see for so. I feel like we haven't seen this in almost 2 seasons now. I can't even remember the last time we were this good. The only other time that I felt like we were very dominant was that 2-0 win against Aston Villa a couple months ago. But this was far better. This was old school Chelsea, dominate the game in every phase, don't let goals in, good defending, good goalkeeping, clinical finishing. And of course, we have an absolute superstar on our team, Cole Palmer. Man, I really hope England plays him in the Euros this summer because England's been my number one team when it comes to international football. So I understand that Phil Foden is having the season of his life and he's been more consistent for longer. He's just been playing at senior level for longer than Palmer. So I wouldn't be upset if Foden started on the left instead of Palmer, but I think it would be crazy for Palmer to not at least get some minutes this summer in the Euros. Other positives. I think, we've been so harsh on Caicedo this season, his price tag, all his high profile mistakes, but this game showed exactly why we bought him. Great. He was helping out defense, good last minute interceptions, blocks, and then he had fantastic interceptions in midfield, good dribbles, and always moving the ball forward. Like this is the Caicedo that was at Brighton. This is what I want to see more. And he and Gallagher actually worked really well today. I've said previously that I don't like seeing Gallagher and Caicedo together because they're two similar types of players. They don't play well off each other. You don't really have a visionary passer like Enzo or someone that can really control the tempo of the game. But honestly, Enzo hasn't been that great recently. So good on those two today. And I think partly this is because Everton's midfield were just so poor today, just incredibly bad. But, you still got to step up and play the team in front of you. And Caicedo certainly did that. Another one that I talked about earlier, Jackson, great all-around play, great link up, got his goal. Just you got to knock out that kind of little petulance, young temper thing, and then he'll just be much, much better. And then last thing that I want to talk about is Trevor Chelesa. It honestly breaks my heart that everyone is pretty much resigned to him being sold this summer for pure profit, BS reasons. But I honestly think he's one of our best defenders. He does get injured, but he comes back quickly. He's always dependable. Always dependable. He's not like Disasi or Badiashile or even Thiago Silva. Well, they'll just have an off day and make crazy insane mistakes. Or Badiashile, who just looks completely lost the entire time. Chalaba was in the right position today. He had several key headers, key blocks from defense. Nothing but positives. I think it would be such a shame for him to be sold. I would rather see Conor Gallagher sold than Chalaba because we need solid, dependable defenders, especially someone who's been in the Premier League for a few seasons, is still very young. Chalaba will probably never become the greatest defender in the league, but he will be that defender that you can always depend on. And we need more people like that on the team for sure. Now, negatives. Honestly, not that many apart from that little fight. My only thing is the defense still did look a little bit shaky at times. Pretty much every corner, every set piece, I was nervous because Everton are just way more physically dominating than anybody on our team. Pretty much if the ball was in the air, we were not going to win that header. But I think we still did a good job. We tried to be physical. We tried to just at least keep some pressure on them during set pieces where they couldn't get completely clean headers. And that's honestly all you can try to do when someone is just a whole foot taller than you and stronger. Going forward against a better team with better attackers who are just as big, we are obviously still going to have issues. It's not like our defense just magically got better after one game. No, we still have plenty of crosses where I was nervous. We still have plenty of plays down the wing where I was like, man, we should really be defending these better, especially in the first 2 minutes of the game. Everton should have gotten a goal because Mudryk just fell asleep and didn't track his runner on the left side of defense. But overall, I'm not going to complain too much. 6-0 win is incredible. It's not what I expected from today. All I can say is, please, my God, please keep this momentum going forward. We have such an important game against City and FA Cup this weekend. I'm going to be watching it at the local Chelsea pub. Can't wait. If we can take this performance, keep all the positives, and just take it to that game and not fall asleep, I think we have a chance. So, fantastic game. I'm so happy. Best game of the season so far. Best game in probably the last 2 seasons so far. So, nothing but props to Pochettino. Team selection good. Substitutions good. Overall play good. And Cole Palmer, you are amazing. Peace.